sent them to us. That shit don't work on us. We gon' figure this shit out and put it in the public domain for the rest of the Klansmen to know. Because we know the rules. The rule is each one teach one for a reason. Because it's the word of mouth. It's the spreading of the word of mouth about the awareness of the self and the social condition. We need to change the condition because our children are suffering the most, and our children are our future. So to see the children suffering and stand by idly is to watch your future be burnt to the ground in front of your face. So if we don't get a handle on Pizzagate, Pedalgate, Frazzle Drip, Watergate, Bill Gates, and any other gate they got, the Queen Elizabeth Gate, the Pope Gate, we get to closing all these goddamn gates on their motherfucking ass. Let the guillotine drop.
Lionsgate.
You did? Hey, you brought that up. That's Daniel. And judgment came in through the Lionsgate. That's an 88 flip. And lions running prides. And the pride is the family. Because the pride is in the family. If you're a mother, she be proud of all her kids. Unless she one of them fake ones.
Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. Right. So when we go back to our culture, go back to the way things doing, like a small city ties to the big city.
Don't slam.
Small cities tie back into the big cities as a support system. Right? The smaller cities feed the bigger cities for the workers that need to be there. But when they get done working, putting in their work to develop into the person that can handle their shit, then they get all their shit. It was the training ground to learn how to live a certain kind of way. They turned them into industrial centers. But that's where the training grounds were, all of the big cities. And the only one that still got the parade is New Orleans, Mardi Gras. We used to do that shit all over the country. Now we only got one city doing it. And then you got the people that's supposed to be doing it scared to do it. We scared to even go to New Orleans during Mardi Gras season. Oh, them witches gonna put a hex on me. Motherfucker, you going to church every Sunday getting hexed. You going to the mosque doing Juma every Friday getting hexed. Maybe if you go to Mardi Gras, your ass might get hex free. I'm just saying. We threw festivals for a reason, because a miserable motherfucker can keep...
Somebody say carnival, cookout, party.
All that shit.
Look, I'm going to keep going back. I'm ready.
But we do that shit because we know that when we keep everybody in that high energy state, they can't fuck with us. We see them instantly when they bring the bullshit at that point. Because you know we all can vibrate on that high altitude. They can't do it and they get an attitude. Right? And that's when they expose themselves. So
does anybody have any questions? I just want to... I'm getting hounded. Same thing with tribal dancing and crip walking. I'm just looking at some things.
mm-hmm. I can barely see it on my screen.
What in the world? Let me get out my face.
The fastest way now to help the movement is to keep the habeas petition going, get many people to, from a position of a sovereign, we need to see the three kings. So we support that Hague. The Hague is issued in the sovereign capacity into the public domain by the clerk of the family court.
We still get the same. I can't even do these same questions about the nationality card and
Slave catching.
is Kanye corrupting the movement? Is a question I've seen twice.
No, Kanye is following Larry instructions to the letter right now. So look, it worked like this. No matter how much we care about you, no matter how much we love you, if you did dirt, you're going to pay for your dirt. I don't give a fuck who you is. Ain't no big eyes or little dudes in this shit.
I'm about to change.
You know, so there's no exceptions, including me. Ain't no exceptions. I paid for my dirt.
Disrespect.
You know, I ain't no motherfucking happy-go-lucky, friendly ass, get along to go along ass motherfucker. That's not my lane. So if I gotta pay for my shit, you know, I done some wrong in my life. I had to pay for that shit. I paid for it. But I'm not gonna keep paying for it now that the debt paid. Not gonna hold that shit over my head forever. Right? Because I did something when I was a child. You're not finna hold me as an adult responsible for childish ways of a child. No, that's not gonna work like that. I paid my motherfucking dues, paid my motherfucking debts. The borders are already closed. Oh,
that's what I was going to speak on earlier, and we did talk about Kamala earlier in the video, but he did the sanctions based on the elections, the interference. So he froze anybody's account that was tied to it. So some of these corporations have their shit on these containers and they're seized. And there is a log that I found that actually shows they are taking ships in, but it's only certain ones. So they're freezing any celebrity, any corporation, any CEO stuff, and that's why all that shit is sitting out there.
Right. Well, listen, we in a governmental
In
transition.
treason.
We in a government.
Yeah, it was back in 2018.
Yeah. So now we in the governmental transition. They got to close the borders anyway. Right. So now that the borders closed, that anybody that know how government operate, and let's remember Noble Drew said, I'm leaving in power until y'all can run the government. That means you got to know how government run, even in spite of the narrative they telling. So when you switching the government over, you have to close the borders to prevent invasion. But American borders are not the only borders that's closed. It's ships all over the earth just sitting on the oceans because they can't dock. If they was out at sea, they can't dock. If they was in the harbor and docked, they can't go out to. If they go out to sea, they might get shot the fuck down. Something. Right? And also, because of that, people are expecting delivery of their children, and now they starting to panic because they know that they stolen babies is stuck on the ocean, and they're gonna eventually either get caught or they're gonna have a bunch of dead bodies they gotta dump. That's how they end up catching that ship with all them kids on it. They ain't the only one out there, and they ain't the only one they caught. And don't think the Navy ain't going ship to ship on recon missions.
We board ships all the time.
Yeah, don't think they're not going and investigating. And any motherfucker that got gets a problem, you got multiple militaries from around the world converging on all these ships looking for these kids. So they got the news stories playing out with the boogeyman being China or Russia about to attack us. Them motherfuckers ain't thinking about us because they over there cleaning their own shit up.
Everybody's running quote unquote drills. That's the code word. So yes, watch the water. Some people have been asking about La Palma earthquakes. You know, that's a whole nother subject. That's just naturally going to occur. We asked you to prepare. It's not going to stop to a certain extent.
Look,
certain things are going to happen.
look, people that's not watching it, they want you to keep updating them on it, right? But the shit ain't changed. The condition is the same. Why am I gonna keep telling you the same shit over and over? I'm not gonna do it. Go back and watch the last video and you'll be caught up. If I ain't talk about La Palma, then watch the one before that. Until you hear me talking about La Palma, I mean the information hasn't changed. And if it did, the update was there. Right? Fuck La Palma, sink that bitch, get rid of the parasites when Atlas shrugged. That's how I feel about it. And if the tsunami come, then goddamn it, let the tsunami come. Now, it had nothing to do with me. Get rid of the motherfucking problem so that we can go on about our own goddamn business. DC need to be the only thing affected by the goddamn tsunami, as far as I care. They can wash that bitch in the ocean.
Well, can I move first before you wash me out to sea? I already know how to swim. It's the rest of y'all I be worried about.
Look, as long as
that was the first thing when I got on planet Earth. Rashida learned how to swim. Scuba diver certified, know how to do subs. Any aircraft carrier, I will fuck a ship in ocean. I love it. But the rest of y'all can play if you want to.
Yeah.
Play if you want to. I came Atlantis ready, like memories. I remember. I don't fuck with the water, but I will. No fear.
You know how they be talking about girls wearing yoga pants?
Okay, why?
No, I'm bringing that for a reason. But literally, the full bodysuit was normal attire for women in Atlantis.
Oh, diver suit.
Yeah, that's where all that came from. Cat suits. That's what they call them. Yeah.
Can you survive the tsunami on the Caribbean? Yeah, go to high ground. I say it all the time for everybody. Backup plan, East Coast. Yep, gotta watch out. West Coast gotta watch out.
Look, if y'all want to know what to do, follow the animals. If you go outside and you don't hear no dogs barking and you don't see no birds nowhere around, and then normally all that shit be loud, you better get to moving.
Many of us have done videos on it and everything, so
the animals gonna know before anybody else. They gonna be your early alert system, because the system is failed, and we might be in the middle of a blackout and y'all don't know to follow the goddamn animals. Follow the animals when the shit they gonna be running in the direction of safety. They not running to the problem, they running away from it. So long as you see your deer out in front of your house doing their thing, playing around like ain't nothing, you good.
Yeah, but you just said, and we all know DC will get underwater. I'm trying to leave.
You might be gone by the time that happens. Shit, we might.
Yeah, I hope.
Hey, we might carve that motherfucker out and send it on its merry way, so it let it sink, just to get it off the land. We done it before, and we'll do it again.
Clean all that blood off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been watching the birds. We've been talking about the birds for a couple of days now.
Yeah. So when large flocks of birds go to the ground, it's something in the sky.
No fly zone.
Yeah. Because the electromagnetic current of the ships is designed to give the bird an early warning so that it doesn't run into their ship. We need that for airplanes. Some of the weed is, but all of it ain't. It's just that you got to have a reputable person that you get your weed from. You can't just get it from everybody.
That's why I sent some lady in Africa planting. We're gonna have all of this in our self-sufficient community, so don't worry about it. Part of tribal medicine, medicinal purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Holy sacrament back.
So look,
Get the hell out of that stuff so we can get free, so we can travel, so we can have this cookout.
so
I gotta go.
So to recap of what we went over for some of the people that wasn't here in the early part of the video so far, we went over Kamala Harris is still the president. We put her on public notice by writ of mandamus to execute the writ of habeas corpus to produce the three kings to walk the land, and said that by putting her on notice to agent is notice to principal, puts all of the law enforcement authorities, and it alerts the JAG, which is, what's the JAG stand for again?
Judge Advocate General.
Of the Navy, to proceed as if there was a treasonous effort on the land. And then from there, they will be executing the warrants of anybody that's trying to uphold the undermining and the overthrow of the government. And then once they get done with them, and we need to know what's going on, that's what's going to make us have to watch Tribunal TV, because people not going to believe this shit was this bad, this deep, until they see the actual dirty players telling on themselves.
Heck, I labeled it Tribunal TV. Can't wait. Got my popcorn, my tea.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to see old man Bush spilling his gut?
You're not going to see anything on the media because the media is paid by the evil ones. So they're not going to tell on themselves, would you?
Well,
you want to get on your live and tell all your dirt?
They actually been leaking.
It has.
They've been leaking.
I'm just stating, like, some people, like, don't get it. Like, that's like you getting on live and saying, I fucked up, I did this,
right,
I did that.
So
it's not going to happen.
The conglomerates, the media conglomerates, has been seized already. What they're doing now is allowing them to run that narrative until the people snap out of the slumber. The less people support, the more people they know are aware that that's some bullshit, right? And Alpha was once the Omega. That means the last became first. Omega flips to Alpha position. Now, the side effect, I mean, not the side, the parallel to that is, that's also called a Zeta wolf. The Zeta wolf is the lone wolf. So just like Omega is the final letter in the Greek alphabet, Z is the final letter in the English alphabet. The lone wolf, right, the lone wolf rather be alone than to not be with the pack he runs.
And being rude. Slam that door one more time.
And if you study the Zeta wolf only comes to the aid of the packs that's in distress from other invaders on the land. He part of the pack, but he just ain't part of the pack. He live his life on the fringes of the pack, but they communicate through howls and scent droppings. But when the time of war, he gonna be able to outfight any other alpha from any other clan, but he ain't gonna never go against his clan. Pretty clever wolf. So when you hear the alpha get that war cry, they don't know it, but the Zeta coming. He might be the biggest wolf out there. He don't care about being the leader of the pack unless he's needed as the leader of the pack. It's the same with the Omega. The Omega, the babysitter. All of the wolves in the pack whoop on him. Right? But they leave him to babysit the babies, and he will fiercely fight a bear to the death about them babies.
Most animals don't give a fuck. Elephant, they get down. I don't know what we've lost that protecting our children feeling. Some of us.
Yeah,
we need to get that back.
Right. And